sweetheart, so full of personality last night. And Carolina won the toss, deferred to getting the football into the second half. So right from the start, and again, you heard Will mention this a moment ago, the offense has been very quiet for Robby Ashford, even if it's Deshaun Purdy at quarterback, right? And now all of a sudden you're going into this game without your main weapon in the air in Chris Barnes, who's just had a great freshman year. And then Micah Mays, who is certainly a threat.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. And as Wes mentioned, you got to get Damon ready. He got to be very, very active for you. But you're going to see a lot of Falai, the tight end, be productive for this offense. They're going to need him.
Well, that's a real good start right there for Damon Claiborne. He has rushed for better than 2,400 yards in his career. That is 8th all-time at Wake Forest. And how about Claiborne? They're going to need a breakout game from him. They're in hurry-up mode right from the start against this very tough, very physical, very athletic North Carolina defense. And deny first down yardage is Claiborne. And how about our impact players, brought to you by Old Spice?
Yeah, you already heard about Claiborne having to be the difference in Falai. He's going to be very, very important in the pass game. And then defensively, Melkar Abu-Jaude, he has been on a tear for this defense.
Boy, you think he's been on a tear? 5th in the FBS in sacks, leads the Atlantic Coast Conference in sacks. And I believe that is George Stye, their starting left guard, a native of Franklin, Tennessee. In his first year as a starter, he's only a redshirt sophomore.
Yeah, they can't afford any more guys getting bagged up on this offensive line. Yeah, you can see you get rolled up on right there.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Again, that's why these linemen have to wear those knee braces, man. There's so much that goes on in the trenches.
And for those that weren't with us last week, Wes, you didn't like wearing those, did you?
No, we did not like wearing those. Like I said, they can scratch you a little bit when you talk about the Velcro and stuff. So when I was at the University of Florida, it was mandatory. So we used to beg not to wear them. That was a treat for us if we didn't have to wear our knee braces.
He clearly is in some pain. They're going to get him into the medical tent. All right, a 3rd down and 2 on this opening possession for the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, but I love that they're going tempo. I love this speed. You don't want this offense, this defense who doesn't do too much to just line up and go right after you, pin their ears back. So I love that they're changing the pace with the speed.
Empty backfield, and the quarterback, a nice little juke to get the first down. Now, he did not throw the ball particularly well in the win over Virginia last week. Threw for just 46 yards, but he did run for 57.
Yeah, he does an awesome job using his athletic ability and putting on the brakes to hop outside and beat them on the edge. If you can get to the edge of this defense, you're going to have some success.
It's been an amazing journey for Robby Ashford. We told the story. He originally went to Oregon to play both football and baseball. He was there for 2 years, never got on the field in football. Little play action here, and he is still on his feet, looking downfield, and just fires, and it's dropped by Burkhalter at the 35-yard line. That should have been a huge play. He escaped the rush of House.
Yeah, you can see House come around the corner, and as if he probably thought he knocked the ball out. He had a clean shot, but then Robby makes one heck of a play, and it just doesn't come down with the football.
Oh, boy. When you're scuffling in the pass game, and they are scuffling in the pass game.
Everything matters, Tommy, man.
Yeah. All right, so after all that, it is a 2nd down and 10. But we were talking about Ashford. He then transferred to Auburn as he's going to keep it himself again in a good running room. That'll be a gain of 11. The ball is loose. It's still loose. And it is picked up by Hernandez, who is racing inside the 30 to the 25 to the 20, and he's going into the end zone. Can you believe that?
No, I can't, Tommy. I'm speechless right now. Yeah, I mean, it's designed quarterback run, and he just gets hit right on the football. It comes out, and then
look what I found.
I wonder if they're going to check to see if he was down by contact. As in the ground can't cause a fumble. But, man, that was a heck of a play.
It sure
oh, no,
was.
it's good.
So
it's good.
Lady Luck smiling on the Wake Forest Demon Deacons here on the home front. Now Connor Calvert for the point after. And it is good. Goodness gracious, what a start to this night. That goes as a 12-yard run for the quarterback, then a fumble, and then a 48-yard fumble return recovery for a touchdown. Jalen McGill standing back awaiting as we'll see Carolina offensively for the first time. What a crazy, crazy play, Will.
I mentioned Party. We went to break, and it's, if you watch it after he gets hit, it looks like someone just broke the piñata and everyone's diving for the candy, and all of a sudden, oh, look what I got. I'm out of here. That was crazy. I mean, listen, Wake Forest, take however you can get it. They've been winning games defensively, sometimes offensively. They've just been trying to find a way to win games, and if that's what it is, I love the heads-up play.
They had 50 yards rushing. Two weeks ago, they've had a hard time rushing, and now all of a sudden you get a play like that. First down throw is incomplete. Had an eye on Jordan Shipp. Gio Lopez, a transfer from South Alabama. His last 3 games, he's thrown for 200 or more yards in each one of them. He did not have a 200-yard passing game through the front 6 on the year. And his last 2 in particular, as Will told you a short while ago, 75%, 419 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Now this is a guy they couldn't get going last week after the monster game against Syracuse. That's Damon June, and he's bottled up after a gain of a yard. Our Impact Players brought to you by Old Spice.
Yeah, you see 37, Davion Gowns. He was real important in the pass game last week for the Tar Heel offense. And then Langston Hardy, man, he is in full breakout mode. He's become disruptive all over the place. Forced fumbles, sacks, whatever you need. He's having a great season.
Boy, it seems like every time we see Devon Patterson, he's all over the field.
I'm telling you, he is absolute stud on defense.
He's only a redshirt sophomore and a 2-year starter. He wears number 5 for the Demon Deacons. So they call it a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 8, and Lopez, he can run, looks down the field, perfect throw and catch, and that is Shipp, and that'll be a North Carolina first down.
I love that play. He was almost playing cat and mouse with Patterson because he was sitting in the window where he wanted to throw. Yeah, he's here. He's watching Patterson ready to see what he's doing, and he moved him outside just enough so he could throw the football in that window for the first down.
Shipp, only a sophomore out of Charlotte. He has 3 consecutive games with over 60 receiving yards.
Yeah, he's a pro. I was watching him during pregame, and just his soft hands and everything he was doing, his route running was professional.
Lopez, good protection to throw it on first down, slings it down the sideline, intended for Paysor, and it's off target, 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Darius Webb Jr. had that on lockdown. He pinned him to the sideline, took him out of bounds. That play was gone.
And yes, that is Ladarius Webb, formerly of the Baltimore Ravens, had an outstanding NFL career. That's his son.
That's how I feel old. I know many ways you may feel how you feel, but this is how I feel old. When you're seeing grandkids on the field.
No, I'm not there yet. Please. That would be breaking news in our house.
I meant someone else's grandkids, not yours.
That's exactly right. Blitz coming. Lopez slings it over the middle. Excellent coverage right there by Braylon Johnson. Again with an eye on Jordan Shipp, 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, you can see Jordan Shipp looking to the referee because Braylon was a little early, but he was still playing the football. I like the no call, but you see the left of your screen. I mean, that could be called, but great defense.
Bill Belichick, 73 years young, grew up in Annapolis, Maryland. Of course, his father coached for a short time at North Carolina before moving on to the Naval Academy. There were a lot of rumors this week that he might be interested in going to the New York Giants. He said, nope, not happening. What an open field tackle by Ladarius Webb Jr. as he just chops down Davion Goss out of the backfield. Carolina will punt.
Yeah, this defense, this Wake Forest defense is doing an awesome job just staying wide, because last week they got the running backs into the flats and they were very effective. So you see Ladarius staying home and making an absolutely strong tackle.
Carlos Hernandez will drop back. He had an 88-yard punt return for a touchdown against Virginia last Saturday in that stunning upset. Some might say stunning upset. I don't know how much of an upset it is. We've seen Virginia. We've seen Wake 3 times. Wake 6-3. They're having a good year, and they're up here 7-0.
Was Belichick, and if he says that, I'm going to believe him, okay?
They lead the ACC in sacks. Here's Claiborne on a first down. Wake Forest a 7-0 lead at the wild play, if you weren't with us, where quarterback ran for 12 yards on a scramble. He fumbled the ball. It was picked up by his teammate Carlos Hernandez, who raced 48 yards to the end zone.
Yeah, there wasn't one play on script that first series, and it worked out in their favor.
Hernandez came over from Washington State with head coach Jake Dickert. Dickert only 42 years young. His team already bowl eligible this year. And the first time in a game we call the name Ty Clark III. That is only his 44th rushing attempt on the season. And look, you don't have to be in Winston-Salem very long to hear from somebody in these parts that Wake is the first school in North Carolina that's bowl eligible.
Is that so, Wes?
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Is that who I heard it from?
Yeah, it might have been me. It might have been me, man. We're trying to get this state championship today, man. So, but yeah, no doubt about it. The Deacs are definitely better than expected.
Boy, are they ever. I mean, looking for a 7th win here today in a 7-0 lead. Little underneath to Burkhalter, and he will sneak by a yard to spare to pick up the first down.
Yeah, you gotta love right now. He's running the simple drag route versus the zone defense, and Robbie's able to find him, and then there he goes, puts the foot in the ground, gets north for a first down. This Carolina defense is really disciplined in terms of leverage, so you want to get as many yards as soon as possible.
Hernandez on the receiver screen, read beautifully by North Carolina.
Yeah, you saw 4 white jerseys there immediately.
Jaden Patterson coming up with a stop. You know, you talk about Wake Forest, so you go back over the last 25 years. They had the best record of all the North Carolina schools when they play one another. Wake Forest is 49-29 against in-state opponents. Now that's a .628 winning percentage. Slightly better than North Carolina's .598. And I think I heard that from Wes Bryant as well.
I like this. I like how they're chipping away. Just, again, try to get 5, 4, just as much you can. Really, really work. And that's how this team is built. This team grinds. They're not afraid to deal with adversity. They know how to handle it. They've done it all year long. So offensively, it looks like that's how they're going to use their game plan.
Well, they spread them out again. Now, twice in this game already, when they've gone empty, the quarterback has kept the ball and run. Let's see here. Looking to throw. And it is caught, and that is enough for a first down to Racanelli. He's one of the guys they need to step up here today without Mays and Barnes.
Yeah, this is great protection. A good job by Robby, just staying patient and finding Racanelli come across.
Racanelli only his 7th catch of the year. We saw him in Virginia Tech show up out of nowhere. He had 3 catches for 88 yards in that win.
Yeah, he's been just clutch right when he needed him to make a play, and he's done an awesome job.
He was at Washington for 2 years, in Montana for 2 years. Look at this. Are you kidding me? And still on his feet is Ashford, but just nowhere to go. He is slammed to the deck by Marcus Allen.
Yeah, one thing we can say about Robby is he's extremely tough. We did his game versus Virginia Tech where he just got beat up and down the field. So us watching Robby peel himself off the turf is nothing new for us.
I mean, this quarterback play with Wake Forest, you just don't know really what you're going to get one game to the next. We saw the game at Virginia Tech when, boy, you mentioned it. I mean, Ashford just so tough to play through, getting beat up, completed 24 passes, 256 yards. But then you'll have a game like they did last week. Yeah, they won the game, but he goes 7 of 16 for 46 yards total.
Yeah, and then there's Sean Purdy there as well against Oregon State. You know, he threw all those touchdowns there, but just overall in the combination, you know, they're ranked at the bottom in terms of yard per pass with about 6. And so with this offense, you just don't know. You don't know what they're going to do game plan wise. You don't know which quarterback is going to come in usually, but the main objective is to win. And even speaking of Coach Scotty Hazelton, he talked about the team like, we're just trying to win. It doesn't really matter how they get it done.
3rd down and 11. Here they come, and a big hit on the quarterback, and it's incomplete. Wake Forest will punt. That's what Carolina does best, get to the quarterback.
Yeah, and he knows. I think he just missed Burkhalter coming across the middle. Saw the pressure and just threw it behind.
Andrew Simpson, the middle linebacker, was the one who put the hit for Steve Belichick on the quarterback, Ashford. Will Hardy stands back inside his own 10. Line drive punt that will go into the end zone. So we have 5:31 to go in the opening quarter. Big crowd in Winston-Salem, the home team in front by a touchdown. Go way back. 112th meeting between North Carolina and Wake Forest. The Tar Heels lead the all-time series 73-36-2. Freddie Kiger, our statistician, tells me the first meeting in the year of our Lord 1888. Back when Wake Forest was close to Raleigh. They played at the old Raleigh Fairgrounds, and Wake Forest beat North Carolina that first game 6-4.
You can count on Freddie for fun facts like that.
I'm telling you now. And here's June. That's his best run since he tore it up in Syracuse. What a game he had 2 weeks ago. 13 carries, 101 yards, and here's a look from the coach.
Look, he's not even watching June. He's watching what the offensive line is doing, making sure they're blocking up the field. But this is what this offense needs to do. They got to get them on June going. Got to get Juju going because, like you mentioned, hasn't been doing much since Syracuse, which wasn't that long ago. But when they have a balanced attack, they are very effective offensively.
He had 173 yards of offense in that game. 101 rushing, 72 receiving. Big hit and able to hang on the tight end, Jake Johnson. And that'll be a North Carolina first down.
Yeah, that was like a tight school bus window that he got that football through. Look at the cam. I tell you what, man, I love the cam. I see it every single week.
Great pictures from that thing.
Yeah, tight window, but man, Jake Johnson to go get it, knowing he's going to get hit, sacrificing his rib cage to get that football.
All right, so North Carolina on the move. From the 38-yard line, they give it to June, and he's bottled up after a gain of 2 yards. June is only a freshman. He's out of Jacksonville, North Carolina. And like a lot of freshman players, you'll have a good game, a not so good game, a great game, then a bad game. Part of the growing process, right, Will?
Definitely is, but I'm just watching Gaku just blow up that entire offensive line. Sorry, I was distracted. I was like, look at this. Just dominated.
Yeah, what a pickup Newer Gatkuth has been for this team. Yeah. I mean, they got a couple of guys. You talked about Langston Hardy, and, you know, we know all about Devon Patterson, but Gatkuth came over from Colorado State and has just had an excellent year. Catch made by Paysor, and that's a first down close to the 50. They'll spot it at the 49.
Yeah, this is what Gio Lopez was excelling at last week. He was able to throw the football wide to the boundary or outside the numbers to these receivers.
I mean, they've looked like a real offense the last couple of weeks. There's a long time, the first 6-7 games of this year, where, you know, they had a hard time getting anything going on the ground, in the air. Now all of a sudden Lopez, along with getting very good protection from a reshuffled offensive line. And here's June on the pitch. And that's a 10-yard run or close to it on first down. And Carolina into Wake Forest territory at the 41-yard line. They'll call it a gain of 9. He'll be a yard short.
Yeah, I think a big part of this is because with Freddie Kitchens and Steve Belichick, they're evaluating their team as the season goes, and it looks like they're finding what their players do well and essentially simplifying it at the same time. And, you know, if they're able to do that, you know, they can really take advantage of what's going on.
That's what we were talking about with June. About he was great against Syracuse.
Oh, in the pass game, running game, pass protection, yards after contact.
But then against Stanford, he had 3 carries for 5 yards. Hard running there and enough to get a first down to the 40.
Yeah, you watch him, you see his build, you see how he plays, and you forget he's a freshman.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, especially that body. He's a big, strong young man now. And they've got a couple of them. I mean, Davion Goss goes 215. He's only a sophomore. Benjamin Hall goes 235. He's a sophomore.
That's crazy.
Lopez, the left-hander, pitches to the far side. Paysor thrown down. Let's see where they spot him here. Is it where he went out of bounds or his forward momentum? And it will be the forward momentum to the 30, just inside the 35.
Yeah, it looked like he got tossed backwards. So, yeah, you're right on the forward momentum. But this is great. This is a long, sustaining, grown man drive that this offense is able to do. And this is what Freddie Kitchens, Coach Belichick wants. They just want to be able to go through their entire Rolodex, take their time, and just really grind on this defense.
Benjamin Hall checks into the game for the first time, and he will get the football. Able to break out of one tackle, but then smothered for a 2-yard loss. And that's Gabe Kershke.
And then you got Frank Cusano, who was told has been playing more as of late. He's been showing up in games and making on a play, so he's earned his way to get more playing time on this Demon Deacon defense.
This will be the 9th play of this drive. It's a 3rd down and 7. Lopez fires to Paysor, who's open. He able to break a tackle, and he is inside the 25-yard line. First down, North Carolina. And that will be from the Demon Deacons. In fact, it was the 6th win of the year. With a win, his next win for Jake Dickert. He will match Bill Dooley for most wins in a season by a first-year Wake Forest coach. Some of the numbers from the first half. Now, bear in mind, the rushing yards here for Wake, 60 came on 1 play.
Yes, it did.
But look at this. 4 wins in their last 5 games. This is almost statistically impossible. Wake has scored 5 more than their opponents. Look at the total yards.
Look at the total yards. That's not a typo. That is what it is.
All right, 2nd down and 8. Jalen McGill is checked into the backfield. They like using him in the pass game. Instead, sitting right down in the middle of the field is Johnson, and he'll be about 3, maybe 4 yards shy of a first down.
Yeah, right now they're just sitting down on these seams, finding the areas in the zone and just playing pitch and catch. Just getting manageable 3rd downs. You know, now they're in the red zone, so a lot more plays are available to them. But yeah, getting Jake Johnson involved, he's been really big for them today in this offense.
All right, so a 3rd down and 2 for North Carolina. And up under center is Gio Lopez. And they're going to run it and not get anywhere close. They pitch it to Jalen McGill, and he is smothered behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they bring an extra lineman. They go big boy personnel, and Wake Forest just finds their gaps.
They went to Davion Goss, I beg your pardon. now a field goal try, a 35-yard attempt by Reese Verhoff. He hit from 27 and 48 last year. He's had an excellent year. Transfer from Marshall. Has hit on 12 out of 14. Blown dead before it ever got started.
False start. Offense number 55. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
That's Jakai Moore, the right tackle. Daryl DeBerry, our referee tonight here in almost night. Boy, the skies, the colors here in Winston-Salem tonight, breathtaking. And this one is just inside the left upright. So Verhoff had to do it twice. James Taylor once said, you see those pictures and the angels sigh. Of course, Bill Belichick, he had Drake May come back and spend a little time around the Tar Heels. His brother Luke won a national championship in basketball. Speaking of basketball, how about the ladies' side? CW Women's Hoops premieres. Bluegrass Showdown. Kentucky v. Louisville. Couple ranked teams there. UK 23, Louisville 22. That is next Saturday, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, only on the CW. That'll be right before our game. You and I will be down in Clemson, South Carolina. Boy, what an unbelievable finish that was last night. Clemson beating Louisville. First down and batted down on a throw right there at the line of scrimmage by Gavin Gibson, the safety who is blitzing on the play. And there's Stye again. He was down earlier, you may remember. And having a hard time again.
Yeah, he deflected that with his elbow.
Couple of big games in the ACC going on right now. Virginia taking it to Duke down in Durham 17-3. And Miami really laying it on NC State 24-0 at halftime.
He's going to gloss over the tied-up game at the half with the BC Eagles.
I was going to headline that. It was coming next under the bright lights. But that might be the most important score right now, all kidding aside, because Georgia Tech is the only team in the ACC that is guaranteed to play in the conference championship game if they win their last 2 conference games. And today they're playing Boston College, having a tough year. But it's 14-14 at halftime.
Play spoiler.
Hey, as long as you keep playing, right?
At the end of the day.
That game has gone to halftime up in Chestnut Hill. 3rd down and 10. Ashford, good protection. And throws it into traffic towards Burkhalter. But that is just outstanding coverage over there by Marcus Allen.
Yeah, Marcus Allen, he's been on one lately. First of all, unbelievable protection for Robby Ashford. He just wanted to go to his playmaker, see what Burkhalter can do. But Marcus Allen has been all over the place. Last week against C.J. Williams at Stanford, he was locking him up all game long. So, yeah, Marcus Allen, man, he is definitely a shutdown corner.
And he's one of the few that's been around Carolina for a while. This is his 49th game in Carolina blue. Hardy lets it bounce, plays it on a bounce, and a pretty nice little return here up to the 42-yard line. All right, well, I mean, I'm sitting next to your guy, Yammer. Let's get it back to you.
We're all over this. Time for a Hardy's game break. Oklahoma on top of Alabama 10-7. John Mateer using his legs, a 20-yard touchdown run. That made it 17-7. And right now, Tom, at the half, it's 17-14 Sooners on top.
Yeah, maybe the most amazing game of the day was the comeback by Texas A&M today.
Oh, that was outrageous.
Trailing South Carolina 30-3.
30-3. That was crazy. I remember us having lunch watching that, like they're getting stomped.
Yep. And they come back to win the game 31-30. 28-zip. to blank the Gamecocks in the second stanza. All right, first down, 7-3, Wake in front. The southpaw slings it to Paysour, and that's a nice pickup of 6, maybe 5 on first down.
But this is the deal with Wake Forest defense. They're like, go ahead, you can throw the ball short, you can nickel and dime all you can, but we're not going to give up the explosive plays. We're going to really rely on our tackling and our coverage and our discipline to truly make you work for it.
Wake Forest second in the Atlantic Coast Conference in points allowed per game, second only to Miami. This defense has improved by 12 points per game from the unit of a year ago. Lopez, down he goes at the 44-yard line, and that's the guy you talked about early on, big Langston Hardy.
You always love it when you impact players make impact plays.
Right.
That's why you call them out. But
that's why you're on your game.
You see Langston just bull rush, tries to find his way in and latches on. By any means, it's interesting when you get closer to the quarterback, you really go after it. And Scotty is he's so fun to chat with and hang out, man.
He really is.
Yeah, he's one of one.
Great guy. Grew up in Thornton, Colorado. He looks like a mountain man from Colorado. Third down and 6. Good protection this time. Now it breaks down. Lopez just throws it away. So the Wake Forest defense forces a 3-and-out. And with 11:02 to go until halftime, Wake will get the football back.
Yeah, you looked at there is nowhere to go. They cover all these areas. Gio has nowhere to throw the football. It does a smart decision, throw the football away. But speaking of Coach Hazelton, he just talked about, look, I cut back a lot of what we're doing. I just want to keep it simple. Let me call the stuff that these guys know that they can master so they can play fast.
All right, here's a return, and it's up to the 35-yard line. There is a penalty flag down on the play. That was Nick Anderson who dropped back to return the punt. That's probably because Carlos Hernandez is going to get so many more reps at wide receiver in this game with the injuries to Mays and Chris Barnes.
During a return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 7. Penalties enforced after distance to the goal. First down.
I think he meant 27, right?
By the way, I love that Nick Anderson is back there, return the ball. The more you can do with this wild play. This is why young kids, you run to the football because amazing things happen. Isn't that right, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, that's right.
And yeah, it takes this all the way for the score. It was a wild play, and man, it got them on the board first.
Hey, by the way, they said the punt returner, Anderson, that his knee touched the ground, so they picked up the flag. So it is a first down and a completion to Racanelli to start things on this drive for Wake Forest, closing in on 10 minutes to go until halftime. And the Demon Deacons in hurry-up mode. Ashford to run it himself, and more than enough for a first down, and then some. I mean, he ran right through Andrew Simpson. There aren't many guys around that do that to Simpson.
Look, you love when your quarterback decides to set the tone. What a play like this. Get out of the way, everybody. Everybody. But I love the change of pace. This was working for them early.
And the ball is loose, and it's picked up by North Carolina. So a takeaway for the Tar Heels as Gibson recovers a fumble. And that was Damon Claiborne who put it on the ground.
Yeah, we were doing the SMU game where he had a crucial fumble in the red zone. And here again, another crucial fumble. You got great momentum. Again, great play by Kamari House. But yeah, going through the hole like that. They always say double and trouble. Put both arms on the football when you're going through. It's the biggest thing there.
Well, I mean, look, if there's one stat, and it's a game like many sports, just overwhelmed by stats and numbers. But most of the time, when you just look at who won the turnover battle, How many times you turn it over compared to the opponent in any given game. The team that turns it over less frequently and takes it away more frequently in the 90th percentile wins a game.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the 75% you protect the football. That is a huge thing. Those numbers do not lie. Hold on to the football or take it away. You give a better chance of winning the game. It's more possessions.
So now North Carolina in business. Football at the Wake Forest 23-yard line. Benjamin Hall, a good carry there on first down, and he'll get it again, and he'll be about a foot short of a first down.
Yeah, I think the Tar Heels are very, very comfortable being here. You know, again, at worst, come away with 3 points.
Lopez to keep it himself, and that extra push from behind by Hall gets him the first down. You know, Lopez ran the ball a ton last year at South Alabama when he threw for over 2,500 yards, but he ran for over 460 yards. He has not been much of a runner for North Carolina this season, just 191 yards.
Yeah, which is smart. I mean, this is your quarterback, right? You know, he's the best one you have. You don't want him getting hit, so you have 3 very capable backs who can do that for you. But he's been pretty active. I think he's been running when he needs to, but not really designed runs for him.
Boy, look at coming down the line, Dylan Hazen. That's a big-time play right there. Loss of a yard.
You see coming from the left side of your screen, he just runs through the gap. When you know, you go, right? You see man-to-man blocking, my man, my fit, my gap. He just ran right through it and made the tackle for loss.
He had 7 tackles, 2 for a loss, a forced fumble, and 2 fumble recoveries in that win against Virginia last weekend. And look at this, a throw by Ship to the end zone, had an eye on his tight end, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, just a fun trick play there. You got Ship. Actually, throws a good ball. I mean, you're going to throw at least, like, give him a chance, right? You got the big tight end and Jay Johnson, 6'6". This is a basketball school. Let him go up and get it.
3rd down and 11 for Lopez and the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I go back to Ship here. Just try to find him over the middle.
Blitz coming. And hit before he threw. It's incomplete as Lopez. So the field goal unit will come out once more for Bill Belichick's team.
Yeah, that was a miscue by Gio right there. That was the same play they hit Stanford with last week for the touchdown. And Goss was wide open. You saw Jordan Ship come over and set the pick on the linebacker, and Goss was wide open in the flat on the wheel route.
39-yard field goal try by Reese Verhoff. He hit from 40 a moment ago, and this one is blocked by Wake Forest, and that's a live football unless they just run away from it, and that they'll do. How about that? That's a 3rd block kick by the Demon Deacons this season.
That had to be Nick Anderson. He makes every damn play on his team.
See if we can pick it up.
Bill in the dark, but sometimes you got to hop over it and knock it out. Let's go. Nick Anderson, what a player.
God, to move like that. We can only dream of it.
Well, what do you have?
It just says ain't.
I thought you said you researched this.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Looking forward to checking in with you at the intermission. First down, Ashford dumps it off, and that'll be a gain, depending on the spot, to Cameron Johnson, the backup tight end.
Hey, Wes, I saw you stroll over there on the Tar Heel sideline. What you got for us over there?
Yeah, Austin Blasky came over there, got the offensive line, had to get some spirits up over there because guys were looking dejected. He was going up and down saying, hey, guys, keep playing, amongst other things that I can't necessarily repeat. But he was trying to get those spirits up over there because Carolina not feeling too good.
That's the way it used to be on that Wake sideline, Wes Bryant.
Yeah, no doubt about it. One time my mom caught me saying a couple words, and she tried to yell at me from the stands.
Yeah, and you never turned around, did you?
I could hear her, and I just said something after the game.
There she is.
Mrs. Bryant, let's go.
Oh, man, she is just awesome. So much enjoyed meeting her for the first time last night. She's done an amazing job, hasn't she, Wes? You're so proud of her. I saw that video of her about a year ago when I found out you and I were going to work together, and man, what a journey she's had.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. Her suicide prevention classes have been going great, man, and she's really passionate about spreading the message about that. But she loves her Wake Forest football, man. She's here every week that she can be, cheering as hard as she can and trying to get others to cheer hard, too. Yeah,
she's
no
coaching
doubt
it up
about
over there, man. You can't see her. You ought to. She's wearing somebody out there.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man. She is all about the spirit and getting it going in here, man. As I said, I transferred from Florida, so she wants the crowd to be a little bit more raucous, you could say.
I hear you. All right, first down, play action. Ashford looking around, dumps it off to Claiborne out of the backfield. And that's a nice pickup on first down for the Demon Deacons, closing in on 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
And I love this for Robby Ashford. He really is taking his time. He's scanning through the entire offense, his full progression, and then he's making smart decisions. Like there was a receiver open in the middle, but the window shut immediately. That he's able to scramble out and find Claiborne in the flat. Doing a really great job right now.
Yeah, he looks much more comfortable than a couple of the other games where we've seen him. That's a great point you make there, Wes. He sure does. Going to hand it off to Claiborne. Last time he touched it, he put it on the ground, but this time a gain of 9 for Demond Claiborne. Boy, what a career he has had out of Islet, Virginia. His 41st game as a Demon Deacon.
Yeah, again, just getting through where you see him protecting that football now when he's getting tackled.
Claiborne will finish his career in the top 4 all-time rushing. You see the rushing touchdowns. That's 5th all-time. He's been a touchdown machine until recently. They give him the ball again, and that's a solid pickup, 4, maybe 5 on first down. You know, teams are not stupid, right? When you're having a hard time throwing the ball, they're going to try to take away the thing you do the best, and that is Demond Claiborne.
Yeah, and the good thing is the offense knows that. They're doing an awesome job. Again, you see here protecting.
Ashford able to sling it down low. A good catch there by Hernandez, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, such an awesome, smart job by Carlos Hernandez. He's rolling, and he steps back, sits in that zone, just gets up. Again, this is backyard football. Once you start scrambling, just get open. Football's not that difficult. People make it difficult.
Ty Clark III checks in. Ball at the 45 of North Carolina. First down for Wake Forest. Low snap. And Clark a couple of hard-fought yards down to the 43-yard line. Clark figures to be the man next year. He's only a sophomore out of Nashville, Tennessee. He was one of the top 25 all-purpose running backs in the country coming out of high school. That was a good get for Wake Forest.
Yeah, absolutely. He runs tough, and he's an awesome complimentary back to Claiborne.
Crossing pattern, and once more, there's Hernandez. He'll be denied first down yardage by less than a yard. So another third down upcoming for Wake Forest on this drive.
You see Hernandez, again, shallow cross, nice tempo, speed. He's not running full speed because he knows it's zone. If he runs too fast and Robby throws the football, he can get his head taken off. So again, a good job keeping that nice tempo going across, and Robby throwing it behind so he can slow down.
He's having a good, solid game as Ashford. I mean, not going to, light up necessarily some of the stats, but he's getting the job done, and there is a drop. Frustration by Claiborne, who's already fumbled. Now the question, Will, do you go for it 4th down and a yard?
Yeah, I mean, you trust your defense. You trust your Scotty Hazelton, what he's doing on that side of the football. So over here, be aggressive.
And Dickert's going to go for it. You see half the time successful, the other half not so. Looking over there, a long time getting the play in. And are they going to call A timeout. Yeah, play clock's already down to 6. It may have had some kind of malfunction. Yep. The card with all the plays on it apparently must have come off, so they bring him another one over there on the wristband. All right, so while we have a timeout, NXT heading to the Big Apple. 2-week special event. Chock full of championship matches. Live from the theater at Madison Square Garden comes NXT Gold Rush. Night 1 begins Tuesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the CW. Wes, I know you'll be fired up for that.
You already know, man. And I also like how they've been incorporating TNA and also the Luchadors. They've been doing a lot, incorporating other leagues, too. So it's been a lot of fun and a lot of variety on NXT.
All righty, here we go. 4th down and a yard. They're going to run it. That's Claiborne off to the left tip. Does Ashford run it? And it's going to be Ashford, and he will not get it. How about North Carolina? There's a second push there, but I think they're going to say that he was stuffed in his tracks, although you never know.
I think I saw Melcar Abujalde just crash down and make a hit. See Mel coming from the bottom of your screen. He's patient and just spills the play.
Boy, they gave him that extra push right there, so it is enough for a Wake Forest first down. And Steve Belichick cannot believe it. Bill Belichick wants to look at it himself.
He's already on the surface.
How about that?
Yeah, right here. It looks like no way.
I don't know if they're going to take a look at this, if there's another angle, if they can tell if a body part of his went down. There's still no whistle, so the play was still alive. And they are looking at it. And that's at the command center in downtown Charlotte.
It looked like it looked short from the angle we just had, and the ball came out too. They're not going to look at that, but
well, they're trying to take a peek at every conceivable angle. We thought up here that his forward progress had pretty much been stood up, but as you just heard on the replay, there was no whistle. And they're trying to see if there's a part of his body that went down. Where was the ball?
The whistle.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. First down, Wake Forest.
Well, there was no evidence it
Reset the game clock to 2 minutes
firmly
and 25 seconds.
overturn the call. So Wake converts on 4th down, and they'll reset the game clock 2 minutes and 25 seconds until halftime. And on the whistle, they'll start the game clock. There it is. Well, they're going to run this, so I don't understand that at all. I mean, with this kind of offense, it's one thing if you're a big play offense where, you know, bam, bam, you got a chance to score. But, man, stay tuned for the purchases. Terms apply.
You know me, I like being aggressive here. I want to take a shot to the end zone. That's what I'm going to do.
Claiborne in the backfield after they convert on 3rd and a yard. And a quick flip to Hernandez. And that's positive yardage on 1st down once again for Wake. And a flag came in at the end of the play.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, penalty enforced 15 yards from the swap, from the end of the run. 1st down.
Yeah, there was no need for that.
That's Leroy Jackson, redshirt freshman. That's a big penalty right there. Puts the ball inside the 15. Nose of the ball just inside the 14.
That's great. 11 plays, 52 yards, half and half, and a penalty.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting 4 yards to play, 4+ yards to play. I mean, all that matters is
we'll take it.
That's exactly right. After what they watched on offense when they won a game without scoring an offensive touchdown last week, flag down again, basically the same play again. This time to Racanelli, but another flag is down.
Illegal shift, offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
You know, we were talking very briefly about that Louisville game last night. I don't know if I've ever seen, especially a Coach Brom team. Normally they're very disciplined teams. They had 5 personal foul penalties in the 4th quarter of that game that cost them a game.
Yeah, there was a lot that went on that game. The personal fouls, the kicking game.
Yep. And Louisville just 2 weeks ago looked like it was in the driver's seat to play in Charlotte for the ACC championship game, and now will be on the outside looking in.
So you mentioned the same play. Wake Forest has been running this sprint out action lately into the boundary, which is the shorter side of the field, so to their left, and they're able to hit 3 levels. You got the flat, middle, and
2nd down.
Well, they were trying to figure out where the ball was supposed to be placed. The penalty was declined. That's the reason they went back to the line. There is Claiborne, and he finds the end zone for the first time in 3 weeks.
Shot through there, into the end zone.
Well, he can fly now. We'll ask Wes about that in a minute. I mean, you know, he's a big, strong guy, but you don't realize how fast, and I mean really fast, Demond Claiborne is. Somebody's screaming for a timeout.
It's Coach Belichick in his ear.
Just telling him stay on the field. Hey, let's ask real quick, Wes, you were talking about how fast this guy is.
Yeah, Demond Claiborne, the reason they want to get him the football, you talk about last season, he was clocked at the highest measured speed by any player in the country all season long, 22.6 miles per hour he hit in week 13 versus Miami. So when Demond gets a step, you can strike up the band, fellas.
Well, it's been a while for Claiborne. He doesn't go a couple games without scoring a touchdown. He's gone 3. That is his 25th career rushing touchdown. 4th all-time at Wake.
Listen, this is their first touchdown in a month. Rushing touchdown, that is, in a month. It's October 11th.
So it's North Carolina defense, which had only given up 15 points per game over their last 4 games, as a point after is good. I mean, their officials hitting the deck down there. Crazy stuff going on down there. Not sure what happened to the umpire on that play.
Listen, you know, actually, I saw them at dinner last night. I went to dinner. I saw all the officials having a nice dinner last night at Salt and Sage.
Oh, there we go.
Listen, it's dangerous in the trenches.
Yeah,
man.
you don't want to get rolled up on. Well, trying to keep some law and order down there. If you haven't been watching, Law and Order Toronto, Criminal Intent is now on the CW. Only 2 more episodes left until the thrilling season finale. That comes your way Wednesday, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on the CW. 14-3 Wake Forest. And Carolina will get the football one more time here in the first half. And don't forget, the Tar Heels won the toss and deferred to getting the ball to begin the second half. Apparently a fair catch was signaled for, so McGill will not bring it out.
Yeah, so with 1 minute 47, 2 timeouts for the Tar Heels. I can expect them to try to get the running backs involved in the passing game. They missed a big throw on the last drive when they were here on the red zone, but that's something to look for right now. Just get the ball to your running backs, try to get down the field as quickly as possible. But you do have Jordan Shipp on the outside, where he is a great target when it comes to 50-50 footballs. They're more like 80-20 when he gets an opportunity.
And don't look now, but your Boston College Eagles are taking it to Virginia Tech.
Oh, I've been looking.
You've been looking for a little ray of hope. All right, first down for Lopez. He looks one way, comes back the other. You just called it, getting the running backs involved in the passing game. Flag is down, and June just nowhere to go. Newer Gatkuth out there to chase him down, but we wait on the penalty.
Yeah, it looked like there's a small block in the back right there. That's an easy call for the ref.
It's Nathan Leacock.
It's tough because you're fighting to make that block, and I mean, as soon as you see the nameplate, you got to lay off, go upfield to find somebody else, and just trust that your runner back can make him miss.
The fouls by both teams. Illegal block in the back. Offense number 82. Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 7. Those fouls offset. Still first down.
All right, so none of that even happened.
Back to square one.
Boy, North Carolina needs a shot of energy on offense here. Remember the game last week, they had no offense in the first half. I mean, none. And then really took it to the Cardinal in the second half behind the left arm of Lopez. He'll run it this time. And he'll pick up 6, close to 7.
You still got plenty of time. It's not really tempo, but they're going to huddle near the football so they can line up quickly.
They are huddling up here with 2 timeouts remaining from their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, but you notice the depth of the huddle was closer to the football so they can get set quicker.
Boy, they are just killing all kinds of time on just to get off this second down and 4. They're going to burn over close to 40 seconds off the clock. And even more than that now as Lopez has to run, and you do all of that for a yard gain. And Lopez has not gotten up yet, and now he does. Hopefully he's okay.
He slid and hit chairs. He hit the bench.
You know, if you've got an explosive, a USC offense, right? An Ohio State offense, an Indiana offense. I mean, if you've got that kind of offense, You can burn 40 seconds off the clock on one play with under a minute and a half to go. North Carolina's not that kind of offense. And that one dumped off. That'll be an 8-yard gain. Flag comes in on a catch by McGill.
Yeah, this is not the 2-minute drill you want. All these flags. Looks like on the perimeter again with the receivers.
Pass interference. Offense number 9. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's Javarius Green. He has gotten very little playing time. Redshirt freshman who grew up down the trail in Shelby, North Carolina.
Yeah, he's blocking. You see him there. He's blocking sooner than expected. The ball wasn't out yet, and he was already blocking down the field. That's tough as a receiver because you don't know. Your job is to go down there and block because you expect the ball to be thrown sooner, and it's not. So you don't have eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, I would imagine they're just going to run this thing out at this point because after that 15-yard penalty, they'll put it in the air. It's going to be caught by Shipp. He'll step out of bounds with 15 seconds left, and then a late flag comes in again. That's Aiden Hall, who got tangled up with Shipp over there close to the sideline.
Yeah, it was a late shove out of bounds, and then he slaps the football out of his hand. It's like you made the play.
Yep.
After the play, personal foul, late hit, out of bounds. Defense number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Unnecessary penalties in that situation. You made a great stop.
So 15 seconds left. Carolina will huddle up, ball at their own 39-yard line. And their field goal kicker, his career long is 51. That was a season ago at Marshall. His season long this year is 49. You need a lot of real estate to get in that neighborhood. They dump it off out of the backfield. And Goss stays on his feet. And he gets to the 48. Carolina with 8 seconds left going to use a timeout. One of the 2 remaining.
Yeah, if Goss just kept his footing, he had a chance to break that one for a longer run.
Goss had a solid game catching the ball out of the backfield against Stanford. 3 catches for 51 yards. He had that 22-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that really opened up the rest of the game. So right now I can imagine what North Carolina's thinking. Probably try to get to the middle.
Well, they need a pretty big chunk of yardage to give it a go on a field goal. The fastest growing cable news network in all of television is News Nation. News Nation respects all Americans and is news for all Americans. Go to newsnationnow.com. All right, ball at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, try to get a quick hitter. Call a timeout.
You got 1 timeout left. Lopez steps up, throws, catch, and it's in bounds.
That is
at the 39. You got 2 seconds left. So this would be about a 56-yard field goal try here for Reese
Look
Furhall.
at this catch. I said 50-50. It's more like 90-10. He goes up and keeps the ball high because you know the defensive back is going to try to knock it out. He maintains possession all the way through. This is what you need, a quick hitter, call a timeout, and then hopefully make this kick.
All right, he hit from 40, had it blocked from 39. And again, his season long in a Tar Heels uniform is 49. And we have the proverbial ice the kicker timeout.
He should have just kicked it anyway. Yeah, that's what you want to do. You had a timeout, 8 seconds is plenty of time to get the football at least 10 to 15 yards.
But I go back to the play where they burned 45 seconds on a play with under a minute and a half to go in a half.
Yeah,
they took the play clock down to 2, and then it turned into a Lopez run, which chewed up another 5, 6, 7 seconds.
Yeah, which for me doesn't bother me, because you have the lead and you want to take as much time off as possible and then try to extend the lead, which they were able to.
No, I'm at North Carolina on this drive.
Oh, excuse me. Okay.
And this one is. Did he get it there? He did. How about that?
Wow.
I mean, a little draw on it. They're used to seeing that golf shot. All right, here we go. So the Tar Heels get the football to begin the second stanza, which is underway. This is a short kick returnable from the 2-yard line. McGill and nowhere to run. Great coverage by the Demon Deacons. Stopped at the 17. All right, what'd you think of Gio in the first half? We talked him up, how well he's played lately. This is about on cue for the way he's played lately.
Exactly, yeah. He's been just very efficient. You know, right now, he's just taking the short drops right there in the zone, but that's also what Wake Forest wants him to do. As you heard from Coach Dicker at the halftime, he said, we want them to try to drive the football. We don't want any explosive plays whatsoever. So, I hate saying the cliche, but he's taking what the defense is giving him. Like, right. He really is.
Well, I mean, he's thrown for over 200 yards in 3 consecutive games after not doing that all year long through the first 6 games. And he's on pace right now for right around 200 yards. They're going to start with a running game, and Damon June. Remember, he had the monster second half against Syracuse 2 weeks ago, and that's a good start to the second half, an 8-yard run.
Yeah, I think right now for North Carolina, you continue to just use these backs. Go to Goss, go to June, just run the football as much as you can. Try to get on the edge and try to get these situations, right? Second and short. If you get that consistently through this drive, that's a major win for your offense.
Wake Forest ranks number 6 overall in the ACC in defense. Where they've been particularly stingy is against the pass. They are number 2 in the conference in that category, but against the run, they're 11. So teams have been able to run it on them a little bit. That ball short hopped. June, it brings up second down, now third down and 2.
Gio has to be careful right there. He rolled right into a defensive player throwing that football. But again, third down, right? Third and short, a manageable third down. You still can pretty much run any play, but this is the big part of winning first and second down, to have this right here.
Paysour, their leading receiver, 4 catches for 34 yards. You have Ship, 3 for 27. And then the tight end Johnson with a couple of catches. And they're going to run it. They pitch it to June, and he will get clobbered right at the line of scrimmage. Oh, my goodness, what a hit by Aiden Hall. What a play that was.
This is outstanding, because prior to the play, there's been about 3 shifts and about 4 different motions. And Aiden Hall comes over like he's an NXT with the clothesline right there. They did Freddie Kitchens. They spread out wide. They condensed down into a box formation. Then they shifted over, and then they ran a quick motion, and it didn't phase this Wake Forest defense at all whatsoever.
Hall, a third-year player at Wake, first-year starter. And that's a huge stop right there. They had second down and 2. They tried to throw it. Third down and 2. And they get dropped by Hall. And now Hernandez brings it out across the 30, and they'll spot it at the 33-yard line. So we'll get our first look here in the second half at Robby Ashford, who went 10 of 16 for 73 yards in the first half. No touchdowns, but he did not throw an interception. The run game, not too bad, thanks in large part to Ashford.
Yeah, as you mentioned, the 6 yards per play. They've been very efficient that first half. You had the 1 fumble, which they did recover, and then another fumble, which, it went the other way. So far, so good.
Yeah, the run game has been particularly good for Wake Forest, because that has been abysmal of late. And really, that's where they they hang their hat offensively in their run game with a great back like Claiborne. They ran for 125 yards in the first half to the tune of 7 yards per carry.
Yeah, this offensive line has been doing an awesome job, just really moving them on the run game and protecting Robby in the pass game.
Now, some of those stats a little misleading because you had one carry that went technically for 50 yards when Hernandez picked up that fumble by Ashford and ran it for a touchdown. Claiborne a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, this was a heck of a tackle. If he did not grab his leg, Claiborne could have been gone. Because we probably would have saw that 22-6 Wes was talking about.
Yep. And if you weren't with us, that's 22 miles per hour clocked by Claiborne, the fastest of any registered player in all of college football last season.
That's a moving.
All right, 3rd down and a yard. You got to believe Claiborne or the quarterback going to run it here. Oh, they put in Clark rather. That's Claiborne. So Claiborne picks up the first down and the clock under 12 minutes here in the 3rd quarter. Great to have you with us on this Saturday night. What a beautiful night. Great crowd between these longtime ACC rivals meeting for the 112th time here tonight. Claiborne, a bullet wide open across the middle, and making the catch is Cameron Johnson, the backup tight end. He's getting a lot of playing time tonight, Cameron Johnson, because of the injury to Harry Lodge.
Yeah, just a good-looking athlete coming across the middle, catching that football. Look at that, stepping into the throw.
Claiborne, not much running room there. Got a yard, maybe. Simpson, the first one there to meet him.
That was pretty cool right there because Rockinelli noticed that receiver had to be off. He was covering the lineman, and then you heard Robby Ashford yell, "You got to get off because you got the motion." So it's fortunate to have some smart receivers out there to help out.
They give him 2, so it's a 2nd down and 8. Wide open receiver right there, and Rockinelli, that would have picked up, or Hernandez rather, that would have picked up 4 or 5 yards at the very minimum and made it a much more manageable 3rd down. Instead, it's 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, that was the Robby Ashford of old, throwing rocket balls to his receivers, and right there, that was a tough one to grab.
Wake Forest already bowl eligible. Here's Hernandez, and he's going to be short of a 1st down. You have an 8-point game here. You have a field goal kicker in Calvert who has hit from 50 yards out this season. You've got 4th down. Are you going to go for it or kick the field goal?
Absolutely, you should go for this. Your defense is literally taking away everything this Tar Heel offense is doing. So feel comfortable right now with what you're doing, and truly believe in your defense.
So it's a 4th down and 2 yards. They've gone for it once already tonight, been successful. It would have been about a 43-yard field goal try, well within range of Connor Calvert, but they're going to throw it. And Ashford still on his feet, and down he goes. So Carolina comes up with a sack, had 9 of them a week ago. And we'll look back later in this game and wonder about that decision. Will it come back to bite Wake Forest? Because that was well within his field goal kicker's range and could have extended this to a 2-score game.
Other places bring all heat, no flavor. Not Marco.
Dickert is 1-6. And Dickert trying to get to that number 7, which would match the all-time best, most wins by a first-year coach in Wake Forest history. Lopez dumps it off out of the backfield, and Jude And look out for Demond June. We saw him break a big one against Syracuse for 72 yards on a similar play just like that one.
Yeah, this is where Juju is dangerous. It's yards after contact. He keeps those legs turning. He's real physical and real powerful. You see him right there just dropping his legs, running around. I couldn't imagine what it was like going against him in high school. Like, he's running over grown men.
Yeah, you got that right. That's a big, strong young man. He goes 5'11", 217 pounds. All right, first down at the Wake 41. June will get a breather. And coming in is Benjamin Hall, and that's a 16-yard run. So Carolina back-to-back, two of their biggest plays of the night.
Yeah, you watched the right side of the screen. There was nobody over there. Oh my goodness! I didn't know the hole was that big.
Closing in on midway through this third quarter. Wake Forest deciding to go for it a moment ago on a 4th down and 2 when a field goal would have made this a 2-score game. Now Carolina banging on the door to try and score, and one would assume they would go for 2, down by 8, even though it's a third quarter, although I guess you never know.
Yeah, right now the offensive line is working. Freddie Kitchens is drawing up these man plays, these gap scheme runs, and it's looking great. That last cam, I think, Tommy, you could have got at least 3 yards on that play.
But maybe, I don't know. The hip's not too good these days. All right, 2nd down and 8 for North Carolina. Inside the Wake Forest 25-yard line. And trying to turn that corner is Hall, and he will be denied. There's Devon Patterson. We talked about him. It seems like every time we do a Wake game, Patterson is all over the field.
Yeah, he is definitely an impact player, hence why I made him one. He's everywhere he needs to be. He plays that nickel position. You'll see him in coverage, you'll see him blitzing, you'll see him stopping the run.
All right, so it's a big 3rd down now for North Carolina. It would be another very long field goal try.
Yeah, you can see Jordan Ship here, right here in the slot.
Lopez, and dropped. Threw it to his running back, Jalen McGill. And McGill, the freshman, dropped it.
This is going to sound crazy, but I was on the field, and I did notice that he was actually dropping a lot of passes during warm-ups. I was standing with Wes. I was like, he was dropping a lot during warm-ups, and it looks like he wasn't that confident.
42-yarder by Verhoff, who set an all-time North Carolina record with a 57-yarder. That one had a weird look to it, but he's able to spin it through there. So a 3rd field goal in the game by Verhoff. He had 1 blocked. And it's a 5-point game.
Win it by IHOP. Order now for delivery. Look at this. We lost the ball. Then, look at this. We got it back.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's go.
That's like getting blueberry pancakes at IHOP.
Listen, that's like when you sit down and there's no syrup. It's like, yo, man. Sorry, it's over here. And it's all warm, too. Warm syrup.
Oh, yeah.
Legendary.
That's key. That's key. You ever had those blueberry pancakes here?
Yeah, the blueberry burned my mouth, man.
Those are big league.
You gotta have the right blueberry ratio.
That's right. Wes, I bet you could do some damage at IHOP.
Yeah, man, I actually like blueberry waffles more so than pancakes.
All right,
and I was going to say off Bill's comments.
That's an old beaten favorite.
He sounds like Robert De Niro in Casino, making the guy put an equal amount of blueberries in the pancakes.
That is me. I am Goldilocks.
All right, first down for the Demon Deacons. And they give it to Claiborne, and that's a solid 5-yard gain on first down. Claiborne, 14 carries, 56 yards. He has a touchdown, his first touchdown in over 3 weeks. And as we've talked about, he's been a touchdown machine his entire Wake Forest career. Good to see him bouncing back here tonight. Good player, quality kid. Flea-flicker here, and wide open is Hernandez, and he's down the sideline, will go to the end zone. I mean, like shot out of a cannon was Hernandez once he made that reception and headed to the sideline.
That's what you got to do. Get some explosive plays. Nickel dime, trick play. Let's go. Look at that racket. I'll tell you what. Play of the day. Racket just seals off about 3. That's outstanding.
What a night it has been for Carlos Hernandez. That is a 70-yard touchdown reception. And that matches a season-long completion for Robby Ashford.
Look at this. Hernandez. He probably likes blueberry pancakes.
Oh. (21-9). What a night it has been for Carlos Hernandez. My goodness, he picked up that fumble on the opening drive, ran 51 yards for a touchdown. And after that 70-yard touchdown reception, 6 catches and even 100 yards.
Dude, what a 2 weeks it's been for him with the explosive plays. Wes, talk about their 50-yard plus plays.
Well, yeah, for Wake Forest, it's been a way that they've been able to manufacture offense. They've got 8 plays of 50-plus yards this season. That's 3rd in the ACC, and 6 passing plays of 50-plus yards. That's tied for 2nd. So the big plays have been coming when they need them.
Yeah, and Hernandez especially. 2 of them tonight. He had the punt return for a touchdown. Their only touchdown in the win over Virginia last week. Boy, that's the stuff that'll make a coach crazy.
Let's look at the play. This is why you want to run the flea-flicker. So you see here, show the running play. You see all these linebackers step up, getting drawn to the run. Robby still has plenty of time, gets the ball to Hernandez, and I'll tell you what, check this out. This is the play of the day so far. Look at Racanelli. He turns his back, and he ends up blocking 3 defenders. He was smart not to crack back, otherwise it would have been a penalty. He shields them off. I'm talking, his IQ is outstanding, so that was a heck of a play.
Well, he's been around the block, Racanelli. We talked about it. He initially went to Washington, very high recruit for the Huskies. Didn't work out there. He went on to Montana. And now Wake Forest to finish up his playing career, although he has a year of eligibility left. There's a first down catch. Webb wrapping up Paysour as soon as he hauled it in. And North Carolina's got work to do now, down 21-9.
Yeah, and just last thing about Racanelli, he was also the guy on offense who noticed when his receiver should have been off the line and that he was supposed to go in motion. So he's like another quarterback on this offense, but you're right about North Carolina. They got to find a way to get some explosive plays as well because they're down big right now.
Well, they had back-to-back big plays on that last drive, and then they just stalled out and had to kick another field goal. 3 of those tonight for North Carolina. Damon June, not much running room there. And it'll bring up another 3rd down, a 3rd down and 2.
But this is more like it. I remember watching that Florida State game versus Wake Forest, and it just looked out of character for them. And talking to Coach Dickert, he said, I got them too fired up. He said, I was saying things that I didn't need to for them because we started doing things in the field that we usually don't do. We had to get back to the basics of what we've done, and so far, you've seen it on display this week and last versus Virginia.
Wake Forest trying to go to 7-3 on the year. Who would have thunk it? Lopez across the middle, and the catch is made, and that'll be a first down for North Carolina. Javarius Green on the reception, and that is just his 11th catch all year.
Yeah, again, you see the zone, just take your time going through. That's such a great throw by Gio. He had Fracasano beaming right at his face and was able to back up and throw the football off his back foot for the first down.
Bunch formation there at the top. And ship in motion. They're going to run it. And just stoned at the line of scrimmage. Nowhere to go.
Yep, open, shut. It looked like there was somewhere to go, and then all of a sudden You know who? Aiden Hall. He's been all over the place tonight. He's been clotheslining people. He's been finding his guy.
Yes, he has.
He's been fighting on the sideline.
He's been playing with some fire now. No doubt about that. That's what you want out of you guys, right?
Absolutely.
Right, they fake it one way. They dump it off to Hall. Oh, what a juke there. And picks up good yardage. That'll put him down into the 3rd and 3 range, somewhere in that neighborhood at the 3-minute mark here in the 3rd.
Yeah, that was a nice move. Defender did a great job getting outside, but watch out.
That was
rocking the 2-8, Murray Hampton's number last year.
Oh, man. What a back he was for North Carolina, wasn't he?
Oh, he was unbelievable.
And they've had some great ones through the years.
They have. Wes and I were talking about Giovanni Bernard, one of them.
Yep. What a great guy.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Man, they don't come any better than that guy. All right, 3rd down and 2. Good protection and open inside the 10. And is it a catch by McGill? It is a catch by McGill at the 6.
Here we go. We got some explosive plays. You find your mismatch. Got the running back on the linebacker.
Oh, did he catch this ball? Yeah, I mean, you see he's tumbling with it between his feet. Did it ever touch the ground? I don't think it did.
That's a catch. Hands, knees, feet.
I mean, how about that? He caught that ball between his knees, or kept it between his knees. No, you could say he caught it between his knees. Hey, if it doesn't hit the ground, you can catch it with your teeth.
Yeah, that's a catch for me.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you can say, well, do you really have control of the ball? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter if it's between your legs or between your hands. If you have control and that thing's not moving around, this should go as a catch. Unless there's some angle that, you know, we didn't see there. The ball can't touch the ground and still be a catch. Well, they're not only looking to see if A, he caught it, did it hit the ground? When it did hit the ground and his knee hit the ground, where do they spot the ball? Yeah, this is a quick decision, it looks like. McGill, that's the guy that was dropping balls we were talking about earlier.
After further review, the pass was incomplete. 12th down.
Wow. Maybe it did hit the ground before he had control over it. Let's see right here.
Yeah, they figure if you're trying to maintain possession with your knees, it hits the ground. Regardless of it as a move or not, it's his knees, not his hands.
Well, I'm having a hard time understanding what's the difference. All right, so they're going to go for it on 4th down and 2. That's another drop by McGill. He's had 2 huge drops in this game. The catch is made, and it is a 1st down for North Carolina. Tell you what, you keep dropping balls like McGill is, and you won't play for Belichick very long.
Yeah, he's quick to make decisions, but yeah, Jordan Shipp just took a
timeout on the field
big
for
hit
defensive
right there.
injury.
Just hope that Afalava's okay there.
Afalava transferred in from the University of Idaho. He had a huge sack in that win over Virginia last week, and really his block kick against SMU was the difference in winning and losing the game. They won that game because of his blocked field goal. Looks like he's all right. But boy, the difference not only alone in field position after that drop by McGill. They'd have had the ball 1st and goal down at the 6-yard line. Now they've had to convert on a 4-and-2. And here you are with the clock running, 1:50 to go in the 3rd, and you're still all the way out at the 32-yard line. Pump fake and looking for the end zone. And I think he was out of the end zone. That ball a little bit late being thrown by Lopez a little earlier, and that's a slam dunk touchdown.
Yeah, 100% agree with you, Tommy, man. He got, as soon as that cornerback moved up into to jump the corner route, that was wide open way sooner than he needed to throw it.
Wow. Should have been 6. And Paysor's limping around a little bit. Ever so slightly. As he comes to the bottom of your screen, it's 2nd down and 10. And that's a tight end Johnson to the 20 and a 12-yard gain, a 1st down for North Carolina.
Yeah, I would like for them to continue to work Jake Johnson. He's been awesome for this offense. Usually a guaranteed possession when he is targeted.
You know, there's a guy, it's a perfect example where, you know, at Texas A&M, he's catching balls all over the place, right? Caught 25 passes his last year there 2 years ago. He comes to North Carolina last year, catches 2 balls all year. He's got 10 catches this entire season. And here's June for a couple of yards. Let's send it back to the guys in the studio. Big news, fellas.
All right, Tom, we got a Hardy's game break. You might want to distract Will Blackman for just a moment here. Georgia Tech was trailing Boston College 34-33. Aiden Burr buries the 23-yard field goal. Now near midfield, Boston College with a chance. There's no Doug Flutie moment here. It's the Yellow Jackets surviving. Haynes King threw for 371, had a touchdown, ran for another 53 yards. They're 9-1 on the year now.
Yeah, they're 9-1 on the year. They have one more conference game left, and then they end their season playing the University of Georgia. So only one conference game left. That's an incompletion looking to the end zone. If Georgia Tech wins that game, they are guaranteed to play. Guaranteed. They're the only team left that if they win their last 2 conference games today and next week, they will play in Charlotte in the ACC championship game. Pitt got killed today by Notre Dame, but it's not a conference game.
Right.
And Virginia is hammering Duke. So the Cavaliers will get another win. And Virginia, to play in the ACC championship, would need to win out and need for Georgia Tech to lose next weekend. Sacked all the way back to the 30 is Lopez.
Here he is. The man himself, Mr. Gaku, coming off the edge. I mean, nobody even looked at him.
Well, what a pickup he has been, Gaku.
Yeah, having a breakout season, man. He's just super effective.
He's got 5 sacks on the year, 7 tackles for loss, an interception. He's forced a fumble recovery. And he was getting very little playing time early in the year. Most of that has been the second half of this season. So another field goal try and another long one. 3 out of 4 tonight is Verhoff. He had 1 kick blocked. The 57-yarder, the longest in North Carolina school history. And another one is blocked. That's 2 tonight. A minute honoring Long-time voice of men's basketball, football, and baseball here at Wake Forest. And not only a great broadcaster, but just a great all-around guy. Stan Cotton, congratulations. 30 years as voice of the Deacs. What a good man.
Very cool. That's really cool.
Really cool. Still looks great, too, man. Always enjoy getting together with him whenever we see Wake Forest. Especially, it's easier to kind of get together with guys like that in basketball more than football.
Does that due to just more games?
I think, you know, and you're all on the same level, and you're just closer to everybody than you are here. They're down a level, a couple levels below us here at the stadium, and so it kind of makes it tough. You don't see them when you go over to their practice. So, but a basketball game,
well, that's what y'all all right there.
Just belly up. Well, this is the ladies' match of Kentucky-Louisville. Pat Kelsey's team on the men's side got the big blue last week. And in the women's game, like the men's game, both teams are ranked in the top 25. That'll be next Saturday here on the CW. We've got courtside Saturdays coming up regularly, starting soon. And Ashford going to run it himself, and a first down and more. He can run now, and he'll step out of bounds right in midfield.
Yeah, Robby's locked right now. The play before, he was talking a lot of mess to the Tar Heels, so he's locked in right now, ready to rock. Wes, what are the vibes right now for Wake Forest?
Oh, the vibes are great down here. After that field goal was blocked, plenty of high fives. Gat Coop was the main recipient of a lot of the love, and then they started throwing up those fours to get focused for the fourth quarter.
All right, we are a minute plus into this fourth quarter, and Wake Forest trying to win its 7th out of 10 games this year. You know, the Big 12 is the only conference for whatever reason. They are all upset last year that in the preseason poll, Arizona State was picked to finish dead last and wound up winning the Big 12, so they didn't do one this year. Every other conference does one. And in the ACC, Wake Forest was picked to finish 2nd from the bottom this year in the preseason poll. And 13 minutes away from going to 7-3 on the year.
Yeah, he tried to get rid of that one quick.
But there is a long, long way to go in this one.
Yeah, you can see right now, Wake Forest just taking their time. I know obviously it's a stop clock, but you want to just get a nice drive in this situation and just be in complete control.
Talked about Ashford's journey. We were starting to earlier in the game about how he started originally at Oregon. He was a baseball player and a football player. That one dropped by Hernandez. He then goes to Auburn. Okay, transfers there. His first year, he becomes a starter. He throws for over 1,700 yards. He runs for over 700. And he was Auburn's Offensive Player of the Year. So you're thinking, okay, he's going to have 3 big years at Auburn, right? He comes back the next year. They have a coaching change. And he's a backup. Then he transfers to South Carolina, where he was the backup the entire year last year. And now he comes to Wake Forest, his final year of eligibility. Not sure what happened here. That's a straight shank by Cal Joseph. So North Carolina going to get pretty good field position here. Trailing 21-9. And later Bill Parcells, where he won a couple of Super Bowls as a defensive coordinator with the Giants. And everybody and his brother in the media went sprinting to their computers to write that Belichick was going to leave North Carolina to go to the Giants. And he said yesterday, not happening. My commitment is to the UNC football program. It's not wavered. We have great support from the university, our alumni, and the Carolina community. And my job is staying right here, improve our team, develop our players, and build a program the Tar Heel fans are proud of. On to Wake Forest.
Yeah, why would you want to go in that building and look at the 2 trophies that the Giants took from him? met with him last week, that's the first question he asked me. He goes, "You got your ring on you?" I was like, "Dude, I'm not gonna bring that here, man. That's crazy. I'm trying to have a good meeting with you, man."
Well, he's got 8 of them.
Yeah, that is unbelievable.
Yep. 2 of them with the Giants as an assistant coach, and then 6 Super Bowl titles as a head coach in New England, where he is still the 2nd winningest coach all time in the history of the National Football League, second only to Don Shula, 14 wins behind him. That was another reason a lot of people thought he might be interested to go back to the pro game. Not sure what happened there. Receiver may have fallen down. There is a penalty flag down.
That's interesting that the field judge didn't call it, but the line judge called it.
Pass interference. Defense number 20. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
For sure.
I mean, he does turn to him. I mean, he touches him. The guy falls, but I mean,
you're unbelievable.
That was. I mean,
come on.
But you had, like I said, the field judge
You'd
did
be
not
arrested for that in the parking lot.
No, not at all. The field judge was right. He had the best view. He didn't call it, and the line judge was like, "Yeah, it was." So.
All right, it's a penalty, 15-yard penalty, of course, in the college game. Most of you know, but some may not, that in the college game, it's a 15-yard penalty, not a spot of play. And Gio trying to set up a screen. It was read beautifully right there. Look at the big man, Zach Loavichin out there defending the running back. And Afalava there, too.
Yeah, good to see him back. Y'all keep messing with you with these pass interference calls. You know I'm like down the middle.
I got to tell you, I'm surprised how much you side with the receivers in some of this. As a former DB.
We're talking ACC. I played receiver at the ACC. I didn't play defensive back.
All right, well, I know that. That's incomplete under heavy pressure was Lopez.
Pro game, I might talk differently.
That was Quincy Bryant out in coverage there. A 3rd down and 10. Afalava trying to rev up the hometown crowd. But this is folks have left. Most are still here.
But this is the best part of this Wake Forest defense. Protected the red zone. Also eliminating explosive plays. Usually right now, North Carolina's not able to do anything.
Yeah, it's been one field goal try after another for North Carolina. And Lopez in trouble, stays on his feet and lets it fly. It was nearly intercepted by Nick Anderson. Well, now with 11 minutes in the game, if you kick a field goal here, you get it down to 8. So you're going to kick a field goal here.
Yo, Nick Anderson has been everywhere. The pre-snap alignment, it looked like man coverage. You saw them on the motion. The safeties rotated down. And I swear Gio thought it was man. He dropped to his own coverage, but that's how you come down there and make that play. He's been returning punts, blocking field goals, pass breakups, tackles for losses.
Well, he's had a great career.
Oh, he has. Yeah,
one of the best players of all time at Wake. And this one hammered right down the middle by Verhoff. So it's a 9-point game at 21-12 and still 11 plus to go.
Today, we got the flea-flicker here. We got Hernandez with some assistance for Racanelli with the block. Excuse me, guys. My guy got to go score a touchdown. And then you got some wonderful plays on special teams. 2 blocks, actually, today. You see the ref letting you know on the ump cam. I mean, to get 2 is crazy.
This is Hernandez, who's had a monster night. And he brings it up to the 22-yard line. 10:58 to go, and Wake Forest with a 21-12 lead. Dickert, the 42-year-old out of Vacanto, Wisconsin. He was an all-conference wide receiver. Initially went to college to play quarterback, and they moved him to wide receiver at Wisconsin Stevens Point. And man, you talk about some stops along the way. You go back to 07. He's been at his alma mater, North Dakota State, South Dakota, Southeast Missouri, Augustana, Minnesota State. South Dakota State again, went to Wyoming, took over as DC at Washington State, and then they fired their coach over the whole COVID vaccine situation.
Right.
And they named him the interim head coach. And then the last 3 years, he took them to 3 bowl games. This will be his 4th bowl game in the last 5 years as a head coach.
Yeah, that is solid, especially when you take over for a situation like that. That just shows a lot of his character and how he can build a football team. And his impact is immediate, as you see right now with this current team.
It'll be Wake Forest's first bowl game since the 22 season. And you know, you really can't ever lose sight of what a great job Dave Clawson did here for 11 years. Won 67 games, took him to 7 consecutive bowl games.
Yeah, Wake Forest was always a school that was extremely tough for us when I was at Boston College to go against, whether it was here or up at Chestnut Hill.
And of course, Wes, you had to steal our coach from Ohio University and Mr. Grove around here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Sometimes we wish you would take them back with some of those practices, how hard they were, man. But nah, Coach Grove was a great coach here.
Yeah, he sure was.
Yeah, Grove bringing them an ACC championship. But yeah, right now for North Carolina, you got to find a way to get this football back. You can't have them get these long drives. You're down. Right, so you got to find a way to get this football back. You were able to create some turnovers earlier this game, but you can't just let them have them drive the football on you and taking time off this clock.
And really smart here by Robby Ashford, the offensive coordinator. They're running the ball. They're milking every second of that play clock virtually. And there's Clark to third. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5. It's interesting to note that Ashford, the offensive coordinator here, you talk about a guy with a closet full of rings. He was a player and then later for a number of years an assistant under Nick Saban at Alabama.
Listen, I heard from Wes, you said he has a really good Saban impression. Is that what I heard?
He does. That Nick Saban impression that he did went viral a long time ago. He said he only does it when he's talking about Saban.
Yeah, he does a great Saban impersonation. He was Gio Lopez's coach last year, offensive coordinator at South Alabama. How about that right there? And they pick up the 1st down, I think. There is a penalty flag down.
Holding. Offense number 4. 10-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's a wide receiver. Is this on the other side of the field?
Yeah, you'll see.
Oh, no.
Right there. He grabs him right there.
That's a good call.
I mean, even though it's milk, Javi throwing his hand up, he could have just thrown him out the way. You got to sell it sometimes.
You better believe it. So instead of a 1st down.
Yeah, 3rd and 14 now, so you got to possibly run a screen, but it looks like North Carolina's going to play zone here, so trying to attack the middle.
Now we're under 8 minutes now. Across the middle it was, and Burkhalter will get very close. Let's see. It depends on the spot. I think they're going to say he's a yard short. And you see the Ashford coming over there saying, wait a minute now. And they're going to mark him a yard short.
Yeah, watch his left foot. Bam, right there.
Yeah, he was trying to dive forward, but you're right. That left foot out of bounds.
They might try to drum off sides here.
Yeah, this would be a shocker if they snap this ball. I mean, you'd be giving Carolina a very short field, and they're not going to do it. But the play clock. Did they call a timeout? They did. Of course, I'm sure Coach Dickert, you know, when he gets back home later tonight, that he'll be checking out his old team tonight in Pullman, Washington. And right here, I mean, wouldn't you, right? He's still got probably very good, fond feelings here. His first ever head coaching job. And we'll have it for you tonight. Louisiana Tech taking on Washington State. Well, you and I both like that coach at Washington State, Rogers.
Yeah, he's outstanding.
No
for
doubt.
what he's doing. He was intense in our meetings too, and I appreciate that.
Liked him a lot. Look at that, 2,030 miles. Mercy. It's a long, long way, but he's a lot closer to home. Mentioned he's originally from Wisconsin. Fair catch by Hardy inside the 20. So Carolina with a lot of work to do. Trailing by 9 with 6:51 to play in Winston-Salem. Their own 15-yard line and only 6:51 to go.
Yeah, right now, let's start working with Jordan Shipp, get him involved, and also let's get these running backs involved in the pass game. You got to find ways to get down the field quickly. We need chunk plays.
That's Goss in the backfield, and he'll just take the pass from the southpaw, cut it back up the field, and spins his way to a 7-yard gain. But Carolina might want to pick up the pace here a little bit.
Yeah, and this is fine. If you get to the back, you can get 6-7 yards. Like, let's do that. Let's continue to just push the ball down the field. Can't really afford to have any running plays here, because so far Wake Forest has been doing a phenomenal job just stopping that run game. So really try to win on the perimeter.
Well, this is a way that Wake Forest has won football games all year. You know, you just take away the one aberration. That was against Florida State a couple of weeks ago, because that is the antithesis of basically every game they've played this year. They just got blown out of the gym, and it was a bad night. Everything else has been tight.
Yeah, it was one of those you just chalk it up. Like,
yeah.
All right, we'll take our loss in the lead.
But everything else has been tight, close to the best, low scoring, great defense.
Speaking of great defense, Prunty just breaks on that football. That was a dangerous throw. That could have been a pick six.
What a career that guy's had. We never talk about him. This is his 53rd game for Prunty in college. He was at Kansas, North Carolina A&T, and now at Wake. That's a lot of football, man. Boy, don't you got to get out of bounds there? Well, it's going to temporarily stop the clock anyway, although the clock will stop on this penalty flag.
Personal foul. Illegal use of hands to the face. Offense number 66. Penalty enforced half the distance to the goal. 3rd down.
To left tackle Jordan Hall.
Wes, what are you saying from the trenches tonight?
Well, I see Wake Forest holding down a North Carolina defensive line that had 20 sacks in the last 4 games. Abujade or Thompson have not seen the quarterback to get a sack tonight, so they're doing an excellent job.
It's a great point. Third and 15. Lopez being chased by Loabichin and throws low. It's incomplete, and North Carolina will punt.
You know who on the hit. Mr. Patterson. Look at it. You see at the top of your screen. He's just sitting here in his flat. He's just sitting there chilling, just waiting, reading, and reacting. Boom. I'll tell you what. When you can take a person 6'6", 240, 250 and make them do a helicopter, that's a hit.
That's a hit. You're right. Now McGinnis will punt out of his own end zone, end over end. And a fair catch at the 45-yard line by Hernandez.
Let's take a look at the progressive player of the game. It is no one other than Mr. Carlos Hernandez. He's the one that got the fumble recovery to the crib. He's been the explosive playmaker, as we talked about the past couple weeks. And then you're going to see him on this wonderful flea-flicker play. Catches it, gets up the sideline, gets some assistance. Today's player of the game is sponsored by the Progressive Keys to Progress program. Gifting cards to veterans in need.
Love it. Celebrated Veterans Day this past week, of course, on Tuesday. We ought to think about them every single day. So now a whole lot of running the football and a whole dose of Claiborne. Look at a big fella still getting after it right there. That looked like Wes Bryant the old days. I mean, guys, offensive linemen attacking guys downfield 8-10 yards west.
That's the way you got to do it. You have to finish your blocks. I was all about finishing those blocks, Tom.
Yeah, talking to Coach Robby Zell yesterday, he said the one thing that jumped out on tape with North Carolina, their defense, is they are extremely physical and they play hard. So I'm sure the message to them was, hey, man, let's fight back. We got to fight back and pretty much not so much master intensity, but exceed their intensity. And you see right there, you got Claiborne with 70 yards rushing.
By the way, the injured player, Clinton Richard, who is filling in at left guard, he is a redshirt freshman. He was the one that was finishing that play down the field. Claiborne again. Crosses midfield. Tick, 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 tick goes the clock, and it stops now as North Carolina used a timeout. Yep.
I just saw Will Hardy get sent to the coolers. Got to watch out for those linemen downfield.
I'm not sure what's going on here. Flea is upset with somebody, and it's somebody on his own sideline.
Yeah, Flea was in the way on this play, and I almost imagine if the coach has something to him, because that, you see that, he's wide open. That's going to be a big play.
All right, so a 3rd down and 3. And the quarterback's going to keep it. And Ashford, who has had a solid night tonight, both throwing the ball and running the ball, will move the chains. He has rushed for better than 50 yards on 9 carries. He's 15 of 25, 191 yards and a touchdown through the air.
Yeah, the quarterback run game has been phenomenal tonight, averaging over 5 yards a carry. Has definitely been the difference in this football game.
See, he has played tonight the way Ezell used to call the games for Lopez last year. Running quite a bit. That's what we're talking about. Look at that powerful running by Clark III. And that's another Wake Forest first down, and they are very close, if not already, putting this thing on ice.
Yeah, you can see the whole vibe, the whole energy is on one side, and that's for Wake Forest. You can see some Tar Heels slowly picking themselves off the ground. Physical football at its finest. But this is what you do. This is 4-minute football, right? We got 3 minutes left in the game. You take the rock and you just pound it. You just try to beat them up, wear them out, and don't give them time to come back and fight.
Clark again. That'll be a gain of 3 on first down, and that clock continues to run. They'll snap it one more time, and then they can run it down to the 2-minute timeout. And North Carolina is not going to stop it.
We are low. It's all love there. It's an emotional game. It's a passionate game.
Yes, it is.
Sometimes you fight your brother on sight and then, you know, you forget.
Play clock all the way down to 4, and they get it to Claiborne, and he is shoved out of bounds. It's been a good bounce-back night for Claiborne, one of the top players in Wake Forest history. And it's been a while since he's had a game like this.
Man, look at that. Great block by Fly. Listen, you hug it out, and I got you, bro. I got you. Clears the way for his brother.
94 rushing yards for Claiborne. Stay tuned for the final 2 minutes. Presented by the Wells Fargo out from Wells Fargo. A couple of blocked field goals tonight by Wake Forest, giving the Deacons 5 of those on the year. That's brought to you by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Be a 2%er. Earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Down to the final 2 minutes. And Wake Forest going to go to 7-3 on the year under first-year head coach Jake Dickert. And look at those rushing numbers tonight.
I know we showed Claiborne's numbers, only 3 yards, well, now he's 4.3 yards carrying, but this is total, right? Total, 219 yards rushing, 6 yards a carry. I mean, this is what Coach Dickert is talking about in terms of, like, everyone's doing their job to win the game. It's not about the individual stats, not about any accolades. Like, can we do this as a team? And this is on full display tonight.
Well, they're not taking a knee here. This is 2nd down and goal. They're trying to score another touchdown. And now to bring up 3rd down and goal. And don't forget, Coach Dickert's former team, former school, Washington State University, is the cap of a great sports Saturday here on the CW. Had a doubleheader in college basketball today. Somehow, some way, Louisville beat Ohio University. I don't know how that happened, but they did. One of the great shocking upsets in the history of college basketball.
Be nice to your Bobcats.
That's exactly right. I mean, my alma mater took one on the chin, and yours really took one on the chin.
Mine got kicked somewhere else.
You're right. Well, that's gonna. North Carolina is calling a timeout.
Timeout. UNC, their 3rd. 30 seconds.
All right, well, now you got Wake Forest about to go to 7-3. And 2 games remain. Now, they cannot play in the ACC championship game. Although you look at who they've beaten this year. They beat Virginia. They beat SMU. You know, don't forget they had the game at Georgia Tech that, right. You know, had it not been for a play here, a play there, a call here, they would have 2 losses on the season and very much be in the thick of things for the ACC race. But they've got Delaware, and then they wrap up the year at Duke. Duke got overwhelmed at last check, was getting overwhelmed by Virginia tonight. So on this 4th down, Wake Forest is going to go ahead and try and score a touchdown. I don't blame him. And did he get there? It is a touchdown for Ashford. Well, after North Carolina called the timeout, and that rubs you the wrong way.
Listen.
And you're like, you know what? We're going for it on 4th down, and we're going to score a touchdown because you called a timeout.
Yeah, and then, I mean, what a play. What a game by Robby Ashford alone. I mean, the leap, the athletic ability.
It'll be interesting to see if Dickert answers that question honestly after the game, because They were ready to run out the clock, I think, in this game, or take a knee on the third down.
Well, and I will say too, you know, Wes told me a lot about like this in-state rivalry is a real deal. And Wes, tell us what Coach Dicker learned about this rivalry.
Yeah, he said he learned this week just how big it is. You know, him coming from the West Coast. But he said the more he walked around and heard from fans how bad they wanted to win this, and also he said he got plenty of texts from former players that said that they want to win this game because this is the one that Wake Forest fans, they could go 1-11 as long as that one win is against North Carolina. I think a lot of Wake fans will be satisfied.
Well, Wake Forest has done plenty of winning. If you weren't with us earlier, they have the best record against in-state opponents over the last 25 years than North Carolina, Duke, NC State, any of their in-state brethren. Now, for North Carolina, with a loss here tonight, they are going to have to win those final 2 games to be bowl eligible. They've got Duke at home, and then they play Dave Doran's team on the road. Back-to-back huge rivals. 3 in a row for Carolina.
Yeah, and 3 tough games too. Like, these are 3 teams that they're going to face that play extremely hard. So they definitely got their work cut out for them to finish off the season.
So 28-12, the Demon Deacons. What a story they have been in the Atlantic Coast Conference this season. I mean, it's just been amazing. And I think most times people get wrapped up because, oh, you're not playing for a college football playoff appearance and all that kind of thing. Look, you're trying to build something here if you're Jake Dicker, right? And your first year, you walk in the door, they're picking you to finish next to last in the league, and you're staring down the barrel and winning 7 out of your first 10.
Yeah, that just says a lot. It just says the buy-in and also the adversity that they face. I mean, you're in situations where you're playing 2 different quarterbacks and you still find a way to win the game.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And so it's been incredible what they have done. You've got all kinds of injuries. You won games every which way possible, you know, and then you add this to your resume. You know, you beat Coach Belichick.
And believe me, that means something.
I'm sure he met with him during pregame, and he was excited to chat with him. So, built in the dark.
So 22 seconds remain. Carolina, you know, had plenty of chances in the red zone tonight, or just inside the 30, but could just never sustain drives. And that will be, more than likely, that will be the final play of the game. Congratulations in his first matchup as the head coach of Wake Forest. Jake Dicker will celebrate a win. And he joins Bill Dooley as the most wins by a Wake Forest head coach in season number 1.
Yeah, what a game.